Okay. Can anybody hear me? Yes, there's one yes. If you can hear me, you can answer or you can just do a thumbs up or something like that. Okay. Yes. Can anybody hear me? Hi. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm a little early, so we'll go slow and wait. I'm expecting maybe 30, 40 people. Okay, it's filling up. Okay. Okay, good morning. Okay, let's see. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. All right. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to kind of start. Welcome. This is Human Anatomy and Physiology 1. This is a part of a 2-course sequence, Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2, Biology 213 and 214. I think I said it in the video, but I should say it right off the bat. This is for kind of health science and related majors. So it's nursing for people who are interested in nursing, occupational therapy, physical therapy, physical education. Those people need this course. Several other types of courses might need this, or programs of study, not courses, but programs of study. It's a prerequisite to lots of other courses. This is not general education credit, okay? And so if you're looking for general education credit, this course won't do it. Then you can you talk to your advisor or check into the website and look at the course catalog. Okay. All right. So, okay, so more and more people are coming. I'm Mr. Nowicki. I'm the instructor. I've never done this before as far as teaching anatomy and physiology totally online. I did a little bit at the end of last semester, but totally online. It's kind of a new thing. So the primary thing is the textbook. You still need the textbook. Let's just go this way, okay? So it's available at the bookstore. It's not that expensive. I think $50. Is that right? Anybody hold theirs up? Yes?
Yep, it's about $50.
$50. Okay. So this is an open source book. You can also get it online, and you can get it for free online. It's just an ebook then. It is required that you read it. Okay, that's the primary reference for our course. My little mini lectures come out of there. The study guide refers you to what parts are important in there. And so that's one of the main things we're going to do. Then I'm going to put little mini lectures recorded online. I go fast in those because you can pause them and move them back and play them over again. I found if they get more than 10 minutes, people don't watch them. And so it says something about me, but it also says something about you guys. But so I try and keep them really short, but then they go fast. So I just go, you know, it's this, 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 and this. But so you look at those, I'll try and have 3 or 4 of those a week. Then I also put lots of animations up. Not this week, but when we get to more advanced physiology, where they'll say this happens and then this happens and then this goes in here and then this comes out of there and then these cells do this, then I use animations. And so again, those you can, they're usually YouTube things, and so those you can view those. Okay, and so you're going to do that, and then you're going to get graded on. Each week there's a quiz. Okay, the quiz is 10 questions. You can take it as many times as you want. If you get an 8, you can take it again until you get a 10. So it's a mastery thing. It'll give you different questions each time, okay? Or it may give you different questions, depending on how many I have there. So if I put 20 there, it'll give you 10. And if you get 8, it'll get, and want to take it again, it'll give you 10 questions, but it'll just randomly assign them usually. So that you may have to go through it a couple times. Then there will also be a forum where you'll have to write 4 or 5 sentences on a particular topic, and also something that's in the textbook that week. You'll have to write on, and those will be graded. And then you'll also have to attend a Zoom meeting. I will again try and keep those short, so I'll try and keep them 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and then your participation, you'll have to attend those and participate, and you'll be assigned those, and those assignments will come out. I'm going to put you in groups in Moodle. I'm not quite there yet. Okay, so that's the lecture portion of the course. Then there's going to be online exams. Okay, those exams may have some sort of security attached to them to assure that you're working on your own. But I don't have that necessarily worked out yet. So we're working on that. And then there's lab. Okay, so you should be signed up for a lab. And the labs are, the labs are kind of hybrid. So most weeks you'll be in lab for about 40 minutes. And then you'll get some stuff to do at home. And so then it may be that I'll assign you stuff to take home. And then you'll complete those at home. Sometimes you'll have stuff you'll have to send back to me, like a worksheet in the Dropbox or a picture to show me that you've done stuff. So one of the things you're going to do this year is you're going to dissect at home. Okay, so I will send you home with a little bag of organs, and you'll have to cut those up and send me a picture. And so those will be graded things, but mostly that'll be done at home. The labs, because of COVID, we can't have more than 10 people or so in the lab at a time. And so I will give you if you're assigned for the Tuesday lab, it says from 8 to 11:50 or something like that. Actually, you'll be assigned to a time that's about either the first or the second hour in there. And because,
I had to do 3 hours.
Pardon?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's
embarrassing.
This isn't lecture. Ask me the question.
I was just saying, because I thought we had to be in there for 3 hours, and then you said we only had to do like half and half. I'm kind of excited about that.
Well, you're going to have to do a lot of stuff at home.
Yes.
But and I'll give you stuff to do at home. So you'll have to find a place at home where people won't bother you while you cut up some organs or look at some stuff at home. You'll maybe do some little experiments.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Okay, I'm glad you're okay with that. And so we'll talk more about it in lab this week. I will send you a note today on what time you're going to come in. And because we have to clean labs and we have to clean between times and things like that, you can't really come early. So I'll assign you a time. It'll be like come in at 8:10, and then you'll have to leave by 9. And then you'll get an assigned seat. And it's going to be odd with this COVID stuff. And so we'll work on that. So you're going to get an individual or a group email today telling you what time to come in. Let's see. We will have lab exams. The lab exams will be in person. So you'll have like a 40-minute time to do your lab exam. And then we'll do those. I'll have much more to say about those as they get closer. There are 2 of those, one about week 8 and one towards the end of the class. Let me share a screen and talk about some additional stuff here. So let's see if I can do this. Well, first let me do the study guide. Okay, can people see the the study guide that says Human A&P 1, Chapter 1, Study Guide, Intro to the Human Body?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so so anatomy and physiology, you know, like we all kind of know our own anatomy, we can see it. Unfortunately, the stuff all has very, very specific names. And so we're going to learn all these Latin names and all these ways of looking at it. So there's the hardest part of this course is there's a tremendous amount of vocabulary. And so I will give you, you know, essential vocabulary up there. That's stuff for sure that you should know that might be on the test. And then for those of you that have started looking at the book and reading the book is hard to read. You know, these aren't written like novels or short stories. It's written basically like a list of things to memorize. You know, it's like a repair manual. These things aren't meant to be easy reading, and they're not. And so I wanted to point out major ideas. And so often there'll be a list of major ideas. Sometimes there'll only be 3 or 4, but other time there's a lot. And it's important to make sure you walk away with these major ideas and then to know kind of what the terminology is. Anatomy and physiology is a lot of terminology and a lot of major ideas. It's a lot of memory work. You know, it's something that you can learn only through repetition. Nobody's going to go through this once, read the chapter once, and be able to pass the exam. And so it means repetition. And so, that means looking at it multiple times. We learn best when we have repeated exposures, repeated short exposures. So you've got to keep up with it. There's no way you can put this off for a month and then have a test come up and think, I'll get ready the night before. It's just not going to work because it's hard. And then, of course, this is the foundation for further courses. And if you're weak on this, then it gets to be hard to function in those other courses. All right. So what do I want to say? What else here? Read. That's really important. Let's look at the Moodle page. Where is that? Oh, shoot. Did I not put it up here? Okay, is this it? No, there it is. Okay. Say, can anyone see our Moodle page?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. So it's organized by week, and the top of the thing will always be that study guide. Then there'll be these various short recorded lectures. Right now I'm doing them on YouTube. And so you can go into YouTube and change the controls. If you want captions, YouTube has a captioning function. And each one of those has about anywhere from 5 to 15 PowerPoint slides. And then I just go through examples and talk about why these are important. And so usually I'll have 3 of those, 4 of those. I may have a movie. There's a link to a movie. That's a movie there. Then there's a quiz that will be open all this week. You can take that as many times as you like. That's one of the main ways you're graded. And then somewhere here, there'll be a forum. I don't have it there yet, but it'll get there today. Sometimes there'll be lab stuff there. So it's kind of a keep up each week. Usually this stuff will all be there by Monday, okay? Most times I will also try and get the next week's study guide up. So for the really ambitious people, they can work ahead and work on the reading, and we'll see how it goes. What else? Review sections, blah, blah, blah. Sunday groups. Okay, so then with Moodle is this course delivery system. There's lots of things I can do, and I want you to know that I can do these things. So I can check on you. so I can check to see how often you're working, how many times you've logged in. When I can go into users here, and I can see who's there. I can see what they've been doing. I can see these reports on them, their logs, and so I can keep track of you. If you're not logging in, if I look and I see the last time you've logged in is like 2 weeks ago, I will call, I will send you an email, because once you're 2 or 3 weeks behind, boy, then it's impossible to catch up. I should look at those and see that you've been in there, you know, every week. I should see you being there 3 or 4 or 5 times. And so I can keep track of that. This is hard because you're kind of on your own, but in addition to that, we can have these meetings, we can talk. I get tons of emails, and so I'll try and keep up with that. We'll answer emails all week, sometimes during the day, but I won't answer them on the weekend because at least sometimes I have to have to myself. So, okay. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. How many of you are looking to go into the nursing program?
I am.
Me, I am.
Okay. All right. Okay. So most of us here will be going into the nursing program, and this is, I may be biased, but I think this is the most important course for getting in. And once you get in, if you've done well here, it will help you there. If you've struggled in here and didn't really master things, you'll have to work even harder in there, because they'll expect that they'll be able to say these words and you'll know what they mean. And so it pays to work hard now, and that will help you do this is a hard way to start for going into the nursing program. It's a hard way to start because you're more on your own. Normally normally people are do best when they work together and they can work with a lab partner and form study groups, and that's going to be hard, I think, for probably the year. I don't know that's going to get solved this semester. But it means to kind of know going in, I have to really keep myself going and work at this regularly. Reading the textbook, short bits, 10 to 15 minutes. This will put you to sleep in larger doses. if you try this for a half hour, it's likely your eyes will get really heavy and you'll drop off. Same with my lectures. Don't think you can listen to those three in one sitting. Those will put you to sleep. This is stuff nobody knows. Nobody knows till you start digging in. When we start talking about, what bone cells, how they function and why they sometimes make calcium and sometimes take calcium out of bones, nobody knows that until they start studying. It's just not something anybody ever talks about otherwise. Same with what makes a muscle cell contract, what makes a nerve cell send a message. Nobody knows that until they get into anatomy, physiology, and then do nursing courses. So it's hard. We don't know a lot of it at the start, and it took people years and years and years and years to figure it out, and you're going to try and learn it in one semester. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Sorry,
Please, go ahead.
I came a little bit late, so I wanted to know, is that the only textbook we need?
That's the only textbook we need for the lecture. There is a lab manual. Okay. And this is more expensive because I couldn't find an open source material. So I think this is like $90. And then there is a dimensional man like this guy here that you're supposed to have for at home, because when we get to, you don't need him right away, but you'll need him by the time we start the skeletal system and the muscles. And so, and he's like $40, I think, 40 or $50. So
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Quick question. So would you be able to provide information where to get those things? I mean, especially the guy behind you.
She ordered them at the bookstore. I don't think they're there yet.
Okay.
So I think that she had to scramble to get them. The company that made them went out of business, but then they were purchased by another company, and so they're coming, but they're not here yet. So the book will have that. For this guy here, the bookstore has the hard copy. So I've asked students for years and years and years about ebooks, and people don't like ebooks. People want the real book. And I kind of agree with that. It's not expensive. It's a huge book. I think it's 1,000 pages. No, 1,500. So it'll be your friend. This will be your friend. You just have to get used to it. And we go through it slow. That'll take 2 semesters. Once you've bought this stuff, you're set for the next semester. So that's Anatomy 1 and Anatomy 2. Okay, that's a good question.
So
Go ahead.
we're just going to be having one Zoom meeting a week, and then the rest is these videos and the quizzes and stuff?
Yes. And there might be times when we'll have an extra Zoom meeting, like before an exam, but there's only one that's required. And I'll do it during the 9 to 10 o'clock hour, probably on Wednesday and Fridays. I want you to be able to work at it at your own pace and to be able to do it at whatever time you want. So then I pre-record stuff and put it on Moodle. But it's still nice to know that there are other people working on it and someone can help you. There is also help available online through the Success Center, but I don't know, there will be, but it's not set up yet. And so I'll say more about that when I know what he's got for you guys.
I came in a few minutes late. I guess the lab time was shortened. Is that the part that I missed? Or
Yes, and I will send you an email that will assign you a lab time. Because the lab room is relatively small, we can only have around 10 students in there at a time. And so normally we would have 24. So what that means is you're going to come in, most weeks you'll come in for just an hour, and then I will send you home with some things to do that week. And so sometimes it'll be a simple experiment. Other times you'll have to do a dissection at home.
do we have to videotape them to prove that we're doing?
Sometimes you'll just take a picture. Other times and send me your picture that, for like the dissection, you'll just take a picture after you've cut it. And then so I know that you've done it. Sometimes I'll have you fill out a worksheet and then you'll send that back to me. So yeah, you'll do something usually.
Right. Cool.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm glad you're here. It's really important that we have healthcare professionals, nurses, and other professionals. This is really crucial. I think it's a great thing you're starting out to do. It'll be good for you. It's going to be hard because we're by ourselves. It takes lots of work. It's not rocket science. If you just keep at it, it'll work. Okay, and so start on chapter 1, start looking at that, use the resources you have, look at them. People can learn almost anything if they put enough into it. My daughter knows every Justin Bieber song. She can sing them left and right. It's just that she spent that much time on it. So this is actually better. You'll get a good living out of it. Okay. Anybody else?
So should we be reading the book and then listening to the lecture, or both simultaneously? What's the best way?
I don't know that there's one best way. It's you have to kind of figure out what works for you. I would say look at the study guide because you can look at that really quickly. The book, each chapter is 30 pages, 20 to 50 pages. That's hard to get through in one sitting. And so I would look at, don't think you've got to read it all right away, maybe page through it once or twice. Listen to the lectures. I like I have our little lectures. One is just an introduction to the course. One is really deals with anatomy, and the other one kind of deals with physiology. And so, you know, when you're reading the anatomical position thing and the term stuff, then watch my little anatomy lecture. But it kind of depends on you. Find what works for you. Different people will study in different ways. Some people like to plow through it in one sitting. They like to, okay, I'm going to read it all, and then I'll listen to the lectures. For me, that never worked. I have a shorter attention span, and so, you know, I'll do like 2 pages, and then I'll go to the refrigerator and see what I can find there. And then, you know, maybe I'll see what's on TV, and if nothing's good, then I'll go back and read another section. You know, some parts are more interesting than others. Sometimes you just have to force yourself through it, and particularly when you think like, oh, this is dull, do it in short sections, because that's the way to get through dull things is a little bit at a time. So.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so I will be sending you emails. I'll put notices in the class news section. I will divide you into lab groups today. So some of you will have lab tomorrow. Know that you'll have to be there during that assigned time because I have limited space. And because of all this COVID and the cleaning stuff, I really don't have any makeup labs, and we don't have open lab. But perhaps maybe we'll get this thing worked out, and hopefully we'll be back next semester. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to end it there unless there's another question. Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to getting to know you, and I'm hoping things go well. I will see you in lab this week. Let me know if there's an email, if one of the links doesn't work. That's the most common problem students have, is that I screw up and one of the links doesn't work, or a question has an error in it. Then again, send me an email. Okay. All right. Thanks. I'm going to end the meeting. Thank you. And we'll see you later in the week.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.